Welcome. You're watching The Big Question. I'm Tamanna Inamdar. The question we're asking today is something that perhaps you may have asked yourself at some point. Fast, faster, fastest. That's the mantra of the food delivery business right now. And why not? We live in a time when time is the ultimate currency. We all prioritize convenience. All we want is things delivered to us fast, in the blink of an eye. With a tap of a finger, groceries, electronics, household essentials arrive at your doorstep in just 10 minutes. Now add piping hot meals to that list. Zomato, Swiggy, and other quick commerce giants as well have revolutionized the food delivery landscape, and they're now delivering fully prepared cooked meals within 10 to 15 minutes. Both Zomato and Swiggy have recently launched new quick food delivery services. While Zomato has launched a 15-minute food delivery within its existing app by providing quick meals from a 2-kilometer radius, Swiggy has a new feature called Snack, which operates from a centralized hub that is stocked with ready-to-serve products. They are not new to the race. Before this, Zepto Cafe, Swiggy Bolt, Blinkit Bistro, Magic Pin's Magic Now have all been key players in the quick food delivery race. Now, as this quick commerce wave sweeps across urban India, the question is, how fast is too fast? What is the real price you pay for a meal that comes in 15 minutes? How heavy does it weigh on your waistline and on your wallet? Is 15 minutes food really the best that you should eat? What is it doing to your habits? What happens to slow-cooked food that is made in a nutritious fashion? Do we know the value, the nutritious value of the food that you're ordering? And is it a habit that might end up being dangerous? So the big question is, are we sacrificing our health at the cost of convenience in what is right now the biggest business out there, the convenience economy? To speak on this, I'm joined today by Anshu Sharma, founder and CEO of Magic Pin, Ashish Sharma, founder partner at Innoven Capital India Fund. I'm also speaking with Revant Himatsinka, health influencer and food safety campaign, and Shreya Shah, clinical nutritionist, founder, Health Fuel. Welcome to all of you, and thank you so much. Our purpose in this conversation is to understand why this is a trend. We're not demonizing a new service. That's not what we're trying to do. It's trying to make people aware of what really they're putting on their plate. Having said that, let me begin by getting the point of view from Anshu Sharma of Magic Pin. Anshu, now as I understand, you are delivering from restaurants within a 2-kilometer radius.
Yeah.
The excitement, of course, for consumers is that you get the food fast.
Yeah.
How do you manage to do it is my question. What is the cost that is paid to deliver something in 15 minutes?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Tamanna, for having me here. I'll just start by saying that what's happening through technology, and especially in India, is just unprecedented. And it's, in many ways, first of its kind in the world. Quick commerce is to that extent. And our society would absorb all of these technology and how it changes the way we live and the way we work. We need to find this balance between what is sustainable, what is healthy, but what is possible also. So when Magic Pen launched our Now service, we were the first ones in the entire quick com industry which was claiming 10 minutes to go and say we'll do 15 minutes instead of 10 minutes. Why did we say that? First, we said we will not operate out of a dark store. We want to make sure that our customers get the freshest and the most hygienic possible food, and that is done best.
I'm going to stop you there, because you know what? We're assuming everyone knows what is a dark store.
Yeah.
Not everyone knows. So now tell us first, what is happening in the industry? Because the mind boggles, right? To think you sit in a restaurant and you tell and you give an order, and it's a running restaurant, and you say, I want my food in 15 minutes. They'll probably say it'll take up to 20. Yeah. How do you do this, and how does a dark store play its part? How does the industry do it, and what is a dark store?
Okay, a dark store is referred to from the quick commerce parlance, a store which is not available for you to go and visit, and it would manufacture or assort everything it needs and then serve out of that. So it's dark because you can't see it. In the food context, a dark store would mean a brand like us, if we were to do it, to have our own centralized kitchen where we are keeping products ready to be heated and then quickly delivered by the rider to the customer who's placed the order. And that can be done very quickly, right? That's how the 10-minute deliveries happen. And we took this position that we would not operate a kitchen. We would not want to go towards food in a way that might end up not being the freshest possible. We'll work with the specialists, our restaurant partners, right? Large brands, small merchants, but they've been doing food for a long time, and we would let them take this forward. This point you made around, hey, if you want to go to a restaurant and say, get me my food in 15 minutes, in fact, most restaurants would be able to give you their food in 15 minutes. So our thinking was that they would find the right balance between what to prepare in advance, what to make sure that it must be done at that point in time, and then add technology to it such that it can be delivered fast. Okay. And that's how we launched our service. And then it's good to see now others have also followed suit, right? They're also now food delivery. Most people are now saying 15 minutes instead of 10 minutes.
No, okay. I have a question, and I'm coming to Revant on this first. Why do we need our food in 15 minutes? Do we need, as a human race, our food in 15 minutes? And I'm telling you this, I'm asking this with complete cognizance. I work in a job where sometimes I have no time to eat. I forget to get meals. I'm suddenly hungry. I have to rush to a next meeting. And yes, I also feel that if the food comes in 15 minutes, I'm happy. But why is this trend here, and what are the concerns on this trend?
Yeah, we don't need food delivery in 15 minutes. We want food delivery in 15 minutes. So it's just an exciting thing that you order something and it quickly comes in. We don't necessarily need it. I mean, we didn't have it till a year or 2 years ago. So we definitely don't need it. It's just, as humans, we prioritize convenience over other aspects. And since it's just so convenient, we just crave into it, cave into it. And like I myself noticed, I was not really wanting an ice cream, but just the thing is going to come in 15 minutes. Made me order an ice cream. So that's the potential danger, is that you may start having way more junk food because of the speed of service that certain, 2 years ago, if I was wanting an ice cream, I would not have it because I would be like, okay, I'm not going to wait for 45 minutes. So the danger of this entire 10 to 15 minute model is that you just order junk food more often than you would otherwise. And I don't think we need necessarily 10 to 15 minute service, although I myself do use it sometimes. I don't want to sound hypocritical, and I do see that it is fun. And there are some times where I also order healthier, there's sometimes that I'm ordering a vegetable also, or something which is required for cooking and things like that as well. So it's not just junk food. But yeah, I don't think that we need a 15-minute
What is the concern, Revant? Are you concerned with this trend? Because you're someone who talks about health and nutrition very often.
I am overall, I would say yes, concerned, because anything which is so quick, the likelihood of people ordering junk increases. Once again, and I've seen office meetings where they would not typically order a samosa, but now they're ordering a samosa for their office meeting. So the likelihood of ordering junk increases. So yes, I am concerned in that aspect. And I just feel like more and more people may start ordering junk more often than they would otherwise.
What would be your response to this? And let me come to Ashish Sharma on this question. I know that you've invested in Swiggy, in Blinkit, and it's a great business model. But there is now beginning to be a conversation about the serious side effects on people's health. Not just the access to junk, but the quality of food that you will get in 15 minutes.
Let me see. Businesses will go what customers want. And, the reality is, not only about, 15-minute food delivery, even if you were to look at a 30 or 40 or 1 hour food delivery, it's the number of orders that you would get for, something like, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead, Anshu. Sorry, go ahead, Ashish. Yes.
Even today, there will be more biryanis that are ordered than some organic, salad. So ultimately, what businesses leveraging technology and what customers want will deliver, to that. Now, I do agree with, I think, your earlier guest mentioned, I think given the easy availability of options, I think you will have a prevalence of more junk food being consumed. And maybe over a period of time, I mean, both the platforms as well as, influencers and other folks, can provide some, some learnings and some tips to others. But my sense is, I mean, people like junk food, people want it fast. And if that's where the demand is, the business models will evolve around that.
Profitable is this business model, Ashish? We know the kind of funds that have been raised. We know the valuations that the markets give to quick delivery. It's the fastest growing segment. It's the hottest story right now in the equity markets, isn't it?
So see, what has happened is the success of quick commerce, both in terms of customer adoption as well as unit economics starting to make sense at scale. I think that has given a lot of confidence to companies as well as investors to pour more money in these business models. Now, one thing I will definitely point out is, compared to quick commerce, where we are talking about let's say every dark store having 2,000-3,000 SKUs. These are non-perishable items. Typically, let's say in a 1 or 2 kilometer area, there might be a few dark stores. So the last mile network planning, logistics, etc., is a lot more simplified. Here, I think in the ready-to-eat, snack, beverages, quick QSR type of food. If you want to order a coffee or a samosa, etc., I think the logistics is relatively straightforward and solved. The moment you move to fresh to make, I think that logistics is a lot more complicated. Clearly, there is a use case in certain customer segments, I would say, particularly for lunch and office goers in high density areas. Say, for example, if you were to pick up, let's say, Cyber City, there will be 20-25,000 people working there, or Bellandur in Bangalore. So in high density areas for, office going, younger, kind of target segment, which orders 4 or 5 times a day, I think there is a pretty strong value proposition to get food fast. But when it comes to, freshly made food, I think both the unit economics as well as the logistics is going to be a lot more challenging. Apart from a select, high volume item, where these platforms based on customer data can have a high level of predictability around demand, not only the demand for the item, but the demand in time windows.
Very, very important point. Very important. Just listen to what Ashish has said. This service makes sense in areas where there are a large number of people working, younger people who can order 4 to 5 times a day. That's where it makes sense. The unit economics doesn't make sense when it is a food item that takes longer to cook. I want Shreya Shah, clinical nutritionist, to put this into perspective. What is the connection between the time taken to prepare a food and its nutritional value?
So when we talk about easy convenience food, obviously 15-minute delivery apps are booming right now. And when we say the food is delivered at your doorstep in 15 minutes, obviously that food has to be cooked within 5 minutes, like minimum 5 minutes, not more than that. So when you say the food is cooked in 5 minutes, obviously there is some kind of pre-preparation or pre-cooking involved. There's a lot of preservatives that are being added that could be high in salt, high in sugar, high in refined oil. So if you listen to these ingredients, this is a classic combination which will invite so many health issues, health problems. India is already booming with, or maybe we are seeing a lot rise in cases of obesity, diabetes. And I think this is a combination which is going to make it worse. I'm seeing so many young patients who are pre-diabetic at the age of 25, 20, 30, pre-diabetic. I mean, look at the health problems also that are rising in, along with obviously the quick delivery services. So when we say that it is delivered in 15 minutes, obviously there's high flame cooking, lot of salt, lot of sugar, refined oil. The quality of ingredients that go in preparation of this recipe is disastrous.
It's disastrous is the word that the nutritionist on the panel has used. Anshu, I want you to respond to this, because you started by saying we chose to say 15 minutes, not 10. So you're saving the quality of that cooking by 5 minutes. But isn't it fair to ask you today that everything that Shreya is saying is something that you should think about. Yes, it's a great business. You're right. You thought about it. Others are following. It's great for the bottom line of your balance sheet. What about people's waistlines? And then a health epidemic that this country is currently seeing.
Yeah, Tamanna, it's absolutely right. Some of this is not brought by us, right? If you look at restaurant chains, the kind of food that they're preparing, that's a reflection of our society, what we all want. And as folks like Shreya and Revan, they are spreading the awareness about this, it's good. What I want to focus on is that we are on the other side also. We are working with our partners to build a selection of salads, smoothies, things which are healthy, things which would let them improve and in many cases help. For example, you think about so many parents would worry about their young son or daughter living away from them and not having enough good choices, would not be able to cook food, right? We now have choices for them which are available at the click of a button in the app. Or, for example,
Parents before these options, there would be one dabba wala auntie who's sorting this out.
I was just going to get to the dabba auntie, right? So there are choices now. So dabba wala still needs some planning and it's relatively boring. Now there are healthy choices which are available, and we're making them very easily accessible. So the parents can see, the kids can order. There is so much more that's become available. Now, finally, what we choose to consume as a society is also on us, right?
Okay, so Revan, why blame the trend? People are going to choose tastier food which might come faster. They're not going to think about nutrition. Is it something that can be questioned to the companies?
No, I don't think we can necessarily blame the companies. They are giving us an option. We have to choose the right option eventually. So it would be wrong for me to blame Magic Pin or Swiggy or any of these companies that they are at fault here. As long as they're not saying that this is super healthy and this is super nutritious for you, as long as they're not doing that aspect, which I don't think I've seen so far. So I think as consumers, we need to also be a bit more mindful. So I do agree with that.
I'll tell you what is happening. Not everyone, but some. You will suddenly get a notification on your phone. Is it ice cream o'clock? In the afternoon, you will get feeling like a samosa. So it's not that there is no tactic being used to push sales. They're sitting quietly waiting for you to come in and choose a salad and hoping you do. Revant.
Yeah, that part I 100% agree that, whereas they'll claim that there are salads, probably the salad is being pushed way lesser. You will never see a message, is it salad o'clock? It will probably be, is it samosa o'clock? Because the conversions are much higher in a samosa than in a salad. So in that sense, I feel like they can do a better job with promoting some of their health options and not pushing junk food all the time, like at 10 p.m. when they know that you finished your dinner, and they're promoting the ice creams and they know strategically your order patterns. And I think some of those can definitely make it much more catered towards health. But at the same time, I think customers will also have to play in because unfortunately this trend is here to remain.
This trend is here. It's highly profitable. Shreya, what would be your comment on the role that the whole ecosystem is playing? Yes, at the end of the day, you have to decide what you put in your mouth. But is it getting tougher to do that with all of these options there?
Yes, I think it gets tougher and tougher. In fact, anyone who comes to me or consults me, the first advice that I tell them, the simplest advice is delete the food delivery apps from your phone. So there should not be any kind of notification that you should get that, tempts you to order something of your choice. One, start making your food from scratch. That is one important thing. And if you don't have time, pre-prepare and, make it at home. Do the pre-preparations on the weekends so that you're more sorted and you have your choices in place and you are not tempted like, I had a very tough day today and I have nothing to prepare. I have no energy to prepare. So let me order it out. Obviously, there are good options available on the apps, but I am sure if given a choice between a salad and chole bhature, obviously anyone would go for a chole bhature and not for a salad. That's how human psychology is. We are not going to
cost less. It'll probably cost less. It'll come faster. And
Yes.
definitely be tasty. Ashish, I just want to get your take on some of the commentary over here, because we're looking at this from a slightly different angle, and the impact it really has. What do you make of it? Because there's going to be a price to pay at the end of it.
I would take it in a different perspective, right? I mean, see, like most things in life, anything that you do in excess, has a negative impact. I mean, that could even be exercise, right? Too much exercise is also negative. So I don't think so from a business standpoint. You would see a significant amount of effort to change customer behavior. I think again, platforms or people who are helping with awareness, I think that should help a bit. But I think the trend will be pervasive. I mean, people like unhealthy food and they like it fast. So I think if consumers do it in moderation, and they're, by the way, doing it even before the 15-minute, food delivery. I mean, they're still doing it. They can go down and have a samosa. It obviously makes it a lot more easier. So that would be my, my thought. And again, I mean, by no stretch of imagination, this is still very early days. We can say that the jury is out that this will be a roaring success. Clearly, when it comes to QSR, snacks, beverages, I think that is a much easier, kind of a logistics and the overall back end.
Yeah. No, the logistics and the backing, yes, but look at the trend. Look at the trend. Now, very soon you are going to have to find a solution, whether it's dark stores, whether it's something else, to give more and more food options earlier, because that's clearly what people want. Shreya, what would you say to people watching this who say that, look, we really don't have time to do this prep. This is a boon for us. What would be your response to that?
As I told you, pre-planning has to come into the picture, wherein when you have a day off or when you have a weekend off, obviously keep few hours for pre-preparing your menu, pre-preparing your meals, and getting it sorted that what are you going to have from Monday to Friday for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Pre-planning works wonder. If you have your menu in place, yes. Get a help who can help you in cooking. Sorted, at least you're sure about the quality of ingredients that you're putting in your body rather than ordering it out. Obviously, once in a while as a mode of enjoyment, because food is like enjoyment factor for all of us. Once in a while, you can go to a restaurant and have your food or eat happily, not a problem, but it shouldn't be a regular thing. Regular thing would obviously invite lot of health issues, and that is the time you would be forced to, correct yourself, or you would be forced to eat certain kind of food that you don't enjoy. So why not put that into practice right now? Plus, currently what I'm seeing is with the parents, obviously the children are also getting influenced, or the teens are also getting influenced, wherein if the parents can order, why can't a child? So this convenience culture is seeping in so easily, because of which, obviously, as I said, there are a lot of metabolic health issues that are booming. But along with that, there is sedentary lifestyle that comes in, irregular sleep pattern, because your sleep is also hampered. Then something like chronic stress levels. Now, the quality of food is closely related. I mean, does affect our mental health also. So these two things are important, along with obviously the other health parameters. Mental health is equally important. So if we are putting something that is trash, our thoughts are not going to be clean and nice.
Yeah, so we've talked about the nutritional value. We've not really addressed what it does to people's wallets. But if you are getting into a habit of ordering maybe 4 to 5 times a day, or even 4 to 5 times a week, you are really going to be seeing a setback over time. The price that you could pay down the line is a different thing. Not that we're saying that these aren't great services. These are definitely great services, but use them with care. Don't be too trigger happy. And the nutritionist here is clearly saying, Shreya is clearly saying, the first thing she tells people who come to her to get into better health is delete all of these apps. Anshu Sharma is very sweetly smiling, but that's the word coming in from a nutritionist. I want to thank all of you for joining us on the show. But as we wrap up, I'm just going to play out for you a conversation my colleague Sesha had with the CEO of Swiggy Food Marketplace, Rohit Kapoor. We asked him this question about food quality being impacted with quicker deliveries. Listen in to what he had to say.
This is the biggest myth that is going around, saying means that it's a different food, frozen food or something. It's not true. It's exactly the same menu. If you go to mithai shop, right, when you take samosa, they don't cook it and bring it to you, right? It's kept there. It's hot and they go to give it to you. It takes like less than 2 minutes to give it to you. So there are lots and lots of food items which are fresh but which are ready, right? Or the restaurant partners, because they are seeing traction, are now just cutting down on all wasteful time. So sometimes the packet will be ready lying there,
Right.
because it was not, under any kind of like active watch. So I think that, plus we are serving short kilometers.
Well, that's all the time we have on the big question this evening. But tell us what you want to hear on the show. Tell us what issue you want us to pick up, and we'll see you again, same time, same place.